Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday, only here on YouTube. Also we're streaming live on YouTube at 10 o'clock. We'll be joining oldiesandmoreradio.com at midnight tonight. So thank you all for tuning in to the February 5th, 2022 Vinyl Treasures show, our first show for the month of February. This cold night, currently 16 degrees and mostly clear here in Westchester County, New York. I'm contemplating going out shopping yesterday, but then got too icy. I was going to drive all the way over to Stop and Shop over in Thornwood. I wasn't going to do that. So I'll be going tomorrow. I'm usually pulling out Soul 45s for my Monday night show, but I will have to do that tomorrow. But anyway, welcome to the show tonight. We opened up tonight's show with the Gone All-Stars. Gone All-Stars featuring saxophonist Buddy Lucas. Now, for a short time, this was the house band for record mogul George Golner, and this song was the follow-up to their cool tune. If you know the song 7-Eleven, this was the follow-up called the GG Walk from March 1958 on George Golner's Gone record label. I played it actually off of a EP. And Brian, this is Norm's EP. It's the Dancing Bandstand, Gone Stroll, Calypso, and GG Walk. Hop and Bop, that's the name of it, the Gone All-Stars, featuring Buddy Lucas on tenor sax. Not many EPs on the Gone record label. Well, enough of my babbling here. Pulled out some killer records for tonight, some very rare pieces also, and we're going to have to play them with a 78 needle. So, George, I don't know about that Gotham one coming up, but definitely on 2 records coming up. But let's open up the vocal portion here with this group from Rochester, New York. They traveled to New York City to audition for Don Costa. I think he was with ABC Paramount at the time, but he thought that they were great, and he got them a recording contract, or at least got a label called Rhythm, the Rhythm label. I've never seen this record. I have it on the second press, but Rhythm put this out initially and was then picked up by the ABC Paramount subsidiary Apt Records. So we open up the vocal portion tonight from November 1958. They're called the Jive Tones. The Jive Tones on Apt. It's called Geraldine.
Geraldine, I love you so. I'll never let you go. Come to be by my side. Let me call you on the phone. Baby, I'm so all alone. I need your love, yes indeed. Geraldine, I need you. I really love you so. Darling, my baby, that's one thing I want you to know. Geraldine, I love you so. I'll never let you go. Come to be by my side. Geraldine, I need you. I really love you so. Darling, my baby, that's one thing I want you to know. Geraldine, I love you so. I'll never let you go. Come to be by my side. Geraldine, I need you. I really love you so. Darling, my baby, that's one thing I want you to know. Geraldine, I love you so. I'll never let you go. Come to be by my side. Let me call you on the phone. Baby, I'm so all alone. I need your love, yes indeed.
We open up the vocal portion there with the Jive Tones. The Jive Tones, a group out of Rochester, New York. That's the second label, Apt Records, November 1958. Geraldine, the name of the tune. Reed, you mentioned I've never seen the Rhythm label. I'm sure it's not the same Rhythm label out in California. That is probably not the case, but I don't know this Rhythm label from the East Coast. I've never seen it before, but anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and up next, band leader and songwriter Buddy Johnson. He's from Darlington, South Carolina. Now, one of Buddy's most successful songs that he penned was that great tune, Since I Fell For You, but he also had a number of instrumental releases and also vocals, some of them, or a lot of them, done by his sister, Ella Johnson. She would provide a lot of the vocals, and this is a vocal here, his 13th release on the Mercury record label, and it features Buddy Johnson and Gil Askey on this one. This is a pretty cool tune. I remember George Humberton, he said, "Johnny G, do you got this record? Can you please play it for me? I don't have it." So this is going out to George Humberton, September 1955. Buddy Johnson and his orchestra on the Mercury record label. It's called It's Obdacious. I think that's how you say it.
Gracious, the way I love you, it's audacious. Ooh-wee, baby, can't you see I'm in love with you? You, no one but you. Come on, baby, don't be stubborn, 'cause that's for you I got plenty loving. Ooh-wee, baby, can't you see I'm in love with you? You, no one but you. Your kisses taste so sweet, thrill me right off my feet. I'd walk a mile just to see you smile. Just thinking about you nearly drives me wild. Ooh, baby, goodness gracious, the way I love you, it's audacious. Ooh, baby, can't you see I'm in love with you? Your kisses taste so sweet, thrill me right off my feet. I'd walk a mile just to see you smile. Just thinking about you nearly drives me wild. Ooh, baby, goodness gracious, the way I love you, it's audacious. Ooh, baby, can't you see I'm in love with you? So in love with you, so in love with you. Come on, baby, can't you see I'm in love with you?
That's Buddy Johnson and his orchestra there. Actually, the vocals, Buddy Johnson and Gil Askey, September 1955 release. It's on the Mercury record label. It's Obdacious is the name of the tune as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition as we head back to Philadelphia for this gal. I've been featuring this gal's 45s over the last few weeks, actually at the request of listener George Tompkins. Played her second release last week on Ivan Ballin's Gotham record label. It was called Until the End of Time. Let's give a listen to her third release. Again, she's being backed up by an uncredited group. They're called the Normonaires. This is with Doc Bagby and the orchestra. This is going out to George Tompkins. 1953, we started off here with Doris Brown with an E, and the Normonaires on the Gotham record label. It's called The Game of Love.
I gave my love to you,
sweet love,
a love forever true.
To you,
I never really knew the game of love, a game that has no rule. One never learns in school. It's only played by fools. This game of love.
This game of love.
You set me dreaming. Our love would never die.
Never die.
Then suddenly you said goodbye. And since you've gone away, I'm lonely night and day. For it takes two to play the game of love. You set me dreaming. Our love would never die. Then suddenly you said goodbye. And since you've gone away, I'm lonely night and day. For it takes two to play the game of love.
This heartbreaking game of love.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. Sound of 1953 out of Philadelphia on the Gotham record label. Doris Brown and the Normonaires there. This Game of Love is the name of the tune. We're going to flip it over for next week. I think I'm missing one of her four. Or it's somewhere in here and I still have to find it. I think I had them all though. I think I had all the Gotham Gotham releases on that one. I didn't tell you what transpired with the with my cable, because I had Verizon Fios come here on it was on February 1st, Tuesday, February 1st. So the guys got here, and he was contemplating what to do, how to set it up. Now, I have to tell you, I had a major argument with my father about this after he left, of course, because he didn't expect on being here a full 3 hours. Because he said he's used to having homes already connected for cable, and then he just has to set up the... I mean, that's easy. I said, you want the job to be that easy? I mean, I tipped him, of course, but he had to get the wire into the coaxial cable that my two TVs were already connected with. So I have a cable coming out from outside. He just respliced them into that. But the problem was, he did not want to go through the drop ceiling in the basement, and that did not sit well with my father, because my understanding was he made a hole in the window and he Well, there was already a hole in the window for the, for the telephone and the FiOS wires. But he reused that, and he dragged it across the whole length of the house, and then he made it look nice in the back under the porch. He stapled all the wire up, but then when my father looked outside, the other wire along the house, it's on the snow. I texted him. I said, Anthony, I said, you left the wire hanging out the window on the side of the house on the snow? Oh, well, when it gets warmer, we're going to dig a hole. I said, dig a hole? I said, you can't do that. My father, he is pissed about this. So I said, he already set it up where you have to tie the wire and you can just pull it through the drop ceiling. You don't need to do anything. You might have to shorten it, but you have to unconnect it. So I texted him on Thursday, and I haven't heard from him. I'm going to give him till Monday, and then I'm going to call the company. I'm going to say, look, I can't have the wire hanging outside the window on the ground, because when the mowers get here, when the mowers come here, they're going to cut the wire, and we're not going to dig a hole to bury it. That's not working. It's got to go through the drop ceiling. So we'll see how that goes. That was the first thing, but I love the TV. The phone works great, and my stream works great. You don't see any buffering, guys, do you? It should be good. We should be good to go. I did a test thing last night for about 2 hours. I was testing records, 50's and soul records, etc. But then the fun part came when I called Optimum to cancel. They were freaking out on me. They said, well, we're sorry, Mr. Galindo. I said, look, I'm not canceling for the money. I'm not canceling for the service. I should show you this because I got to tell you this. I'm not canceling for the money. I'm not canceling for the service. I'm canceling because you can't offer me a product I need. I'm sorry, Mr. I could hardly understand her, but I'm sorry, Mr. Galindo. But can you want to transfer your subscription to someone else? I said, no, I don't. I said, I do not want to do that. So she says, sir, that you have to pay up until the billing cycle. I said, excuse me? She says, yes, you have to pay up until the billing cycle. Your billing cycle goes to February 15th. I says, wait a minute. I just sent you a payment, automatic through my bank, ACH. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to cancel that payment if I can. I shouldn't have paid you. So she's like, I'm really sorry, sir. And I was freaking out. My mother's telling me, John, don't curse. I said, are you kidding me? I says, you're going to charge me for one stupid day of the month. You're going to take $104 for the 15th? I says, I'm coming out against you publicly on my radio show. I'm going to say, you know what I want to say. I said, your service has been horrible. I said, you offer me a product I can't use. Your upload speed stinks. It stinks. Your technical support stinks. I was with the company since the 70s. And she says, I understand, sir, but I can't do anything. I says, well, you better run it up the totem pole, and you better tell them that your company is a piece of crap. I didn't say it that much. I was being nice here. She couldn't do anything. I said, well, I want to talk to somebody about this. I said, it's okay. It's okay for the cable to go out. Okay. And I have to call you to get credit. So you give me credit because I'm not viewing it. Now you canceled my service. Okay. And you're going to keep my money for half of my pay, half of the pay of they gave me $208. I get like a $75 credit. So I was livid, totally livid about that. So she says, Mr. Galindo, there's nothing I can do. I said, look, I have to return 2 boxes, 2 channel changers, and I think the modem. I says, where can I bring this to? Because I can go to Peekskill, New York, or I can go to Rockland County, West Nyack, I think she said it was. So I have that all planned out with George to do that. But I'm telling you, I was ready to, I was fit to be tied the way they were on the phone. I said, it doesn't make, those are your policies to screw somebody? Okay, I 1 day of service. You can charge me 1 day. Okay, but I never should have paid you. I'm the fool. I was the fool, and I always pay you early, and I never was a deadbeat. And this is how you treat me? Well, I'm coming. Do not get Optimum Cable, because they are a horrible, horrible company. Now, we'll see how Verizon Fios is when I call them about the wire out there. So they got to come back and fix that. My father says you can't leave the wire hanging, and we're not burying it. So we shall see how this turns. Sorry to tell you, I just had to vent. But I'm saying, because I had enough of the crap with their system. I like the service. I'm not complaining about the service. Not complaining. And anyway, but again, for food for thought, if you're going to cancel your service, make sure, and somebody told me maybe you should call Verizon, maybe they'll pay you that $104. I don't know, because I had to pay $100 for the guy to come here to do the installation. And I don't know, he was talking about, I don't want it, I don't want it to cost you more money. I'm like, more money? I said, you're supposed to come here and install it the way it should be. Anyway, that's for a future discussion. But anyway, let's get to the next record here. As we count down the music chronologically here, I mentioned that here is a request for listener Daniel Kubacki, as this group, he wanted to hear the Hollywood Flames on John Dolphin's Money record label. This is actually the second release on the Money label. It's a rare 45. It's not on the orange label. It's like a shiny red label, glossy label. And it features David Ford on lead. This is September 1954. Now, I tested this with a 78 needle. It plays so much better with a 78 needle. Actually, the next 2 records tonight will be on a 78 needle. So I'm going to use this turntable. But anyway, sorry to vent, folks. But this is for Daniel Kubacki. These are the Hollywood Flames from September 54 on the Money label. It's called Fare Thee Well. This is for Daniel.
Told me when last fall another cat was in my stall. Well, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Now that I've gotten hip, I'm packing up my grip. Well, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. You told me to my face I could easily be replaced. Well, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. I'm trying to take it back, but it's too late, my grip is back. Well, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, honey, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Now that I'm gonna leave you asking me for reprieve. Well, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Now that I've got a fare, I'm sure that I'm not square. Well, fare thee, honey, fare thee well. Fare thee, honey, goodbye. Fare thee, honey, baby, don't you cry. Fare thee,
September 1954 release there for the Hollywood Flames, David Ford and the Hollywood Flames. That's a request for listener Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat room. That's on the Money record label. That's one of the early Money releases. 202 is that number. It comes on that cool, shiny red label. Not an easy 45 to find. It's a little bit worn, but it plays so much better with a 78 needle. As we're going to use this needle one more time. We're going to use the 78 needle 3 times tonight. And up next, as we go to July 1954 now for this next 45 on the Gem record label out of New York City. This is another very rare 40. Whoops. Let me line it up. I don't want to backspin my 45s here. But this is a rare 45 on Jack Bergman's Gem record label out of New York City. But supposedly this group is out of Washington, D.C. They're known as the Earls. The lead singer on this, his name is Paul Crawford. Paul Crawford is the lead. Really a rare 45 from July 1954. Let's give it a spin here. The Earls on the Gem label. It's called Believe Me, My Love. Wait, it's got a short lead in here. Hold on.
Darling, you know that I love you so, and I will never, never let you go. My love, you're everything to me. I'm as happy as can be. Believe me, my love, my dear, you're my aches and my pain. When I hear your name, and I know you're the same. I know you're the same. Oh, darling, you know that I love you so. I shouldn't have to say anymore. I dream of you, dear, each day and each night. Holding my pillow tight. I pray that someday you'll say, let's go away, then you'll say, oh, my love. Oh, my love. Oh, darling, you know that I love you so. I shouldn't have to say anymore. I dream of you, dear, each day and each night. Holding my pillow tight. I pray that someday you'll say, let's go away, then you'll say, oh, my love. Oh, my
Those are the Earls. That's a rare 45. That's with a 78 needle now. It plays so much better with the 78 needle on some of these records. Believe it or not, I have a record from 1962 I got to play with a 78 needle. So that's going to be toward the end of the show. But those are the Earls from July 1954 on the Gem record label. It's called Believe Me, My Love. I bought that to tune from Spence Wooten, and I miss Spence. He sold me some really nice records over the years, and that was one that he sold me that I will treasure. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We move into 1955 now, and on last week's show I featured the Five Wings. The Five Wings, a request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room. It's on Sid Nathan's King record label. The side Timothy requested was Teardrops Are Falling, that featured Jackie LaRue on lead. Of course, Jackie LaRue went on to be the lead of Jackie and the Starlights. But let's give a spin to the flip side before this one goes back down in the No Humidity basement. This side features Billy Carlisle on lead. This is from March 1955. These are the Five Wings. The Five Wings on the King label. It's called Rock Alaka.
I got a love that's rockin', really rockin', really rockin'. I got a love that's rollin', really rollin', really rollin'. I got a love that's rockin', really rockin', really rockin'. I got a love that's rollin', really rollin', really rollin'. I got a love that's rockin', rockin' all night long, all night long.
Yes.
So rock-a-lock, rock-a-lock.
Yes, baby.
Rock-a-lock, rock-a-lock.
This love is really rocking and rolling tonight. Yes, rolling all night long.
Rock-a-lock, 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 babe, rock-a-lock, all night long, all night long. She said, baby, take it easy, please and please. Another hug and then a squeeze. I got love that's rockin', really rockin', really rockin'. I got love that's rollin', really rollin', really rollin'. I got love that's rockin', rockin' all night long, all night long. She go rock-a-lock, rock-a-lock.
Yes, baby.
Rock-a-lock, rock-a-lock.
Just open up your arms and let me in. Yes, rolling all night long.
Rock-a-lock, babe, rock-a-lock, all night long, all night long. She said, baby, you was square, you ain't nowhere. You took my love, so now beware. I got a love that's rockin', really rockin', really rockin'. I got a love that's rollin', really rollin', really rollin'. I got a love that's rockin', rockin' all night long, all night long. She go rock-a-lock, rock-a-lock.
Yes, baby.
Rock-a-lock, rock-a-lock.
This love is really rocking and rolling tonight. Yes, rocking all night long.
Yeah, the Five Wings there. The Five Wings of Billy Carlisle. He's on lead March 1955 release. Sid Nathan's King Records there. Rock-a-Laka is the name of that one. We continue now. We are in 1955. Up next, a request for listener Emnon as we head back to Philadelphia. Not much known about this group. I'm sure many of you have this 45, or those of you that do own this 45, you have the second issue. It came out on Jerry Blaine's Josie record label. I did show you guys and gals the Josie label there. But it first came out on a label called Gen D, Jen space D records, and it has better fidelity, in my opinion, on the Gen D press, I think because it's pressed by RCA. But here are the 5 notes with the Hamiltones. Hamiltones, probably the instrumental group here, and this is a request for Emnon on the first press, 1955. The 5 notes on the Gen D label. It's called You Are So Beautiful. This is for Emnon.
You are so beautiful. You are a dream divine. But there's a danger sign. I can see deep within. Said you are beautiful, and I am such a fool. You simply make the rule. How can I ever win? I know I am a dreamer. To think you would give in. Oh, helpless, wishful dreamer, who knew long ago this should not have been. But you're so beautiful, and when you touch my hand, I'm in a wonderland, back in the same old spin. I know I am a dreamer, to think you would give in. Oh, helpless, wishful dreamer, who knew long ago this should not have been. But you're so beautiful, and when you touch my hand, I'm in a wonderland, back in the same old
As by request for Amnon there, the 5 notes. 5 notes from 1955 that's on the first label plays so much better on the Gen D record label. You Are So Beautiful. You can get it on the Josie label. The 78s play fine, but the 45s are kind of grainy. They are. Some of the Josie 78s with recycled vinyl, they don't play so well. Others do. I think it's certain pressing plants, but I know for that one it is kind of muddy sound on the 45. Let's continue in 1955. Got another request for listener Daniel Kubacki, as this group is originally from Tacoma, Washington, and they were members of a choir at the Bethlehem Baptist Church while attending Lincoln High School. Then they relocated to Los Angeles, California. They signed with Imperial Records to have 5 releases. Daniel requested their second, co-written by the lead singer of this group. His name is Billy Gold. Now, this charted, believe it or not, this was a #1 record on WHOD in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We go back to June 1955. These are the Barons on Imperial, going out to Daniel. It's called I Know I Was Wrong.
I know I was wrong to make you cry. I know I was wrong to say goodbye. Yes, darling, forgive me. I love you so. I was wrong to make you cry. I know I was wrong to say goodbye. Yes, darling, forgive me. I love you so. Oh, please take me back. I know I was wrong. I know I was wrong to make you cry. I know I was wrong to say goodbye. Please, darling, forgive me. I love you so. Oh, please take me back. I know I was wrong.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, those are the Barons, their second release on the Imperial record label. June 1955, I Know I Was Wrong. And I featured it on the blue label, also came out on the red label. I don't know which one is first. I just said, you know what, I didn't pay a lot of money for those two. I found those in the wild, is what I did here in New York City. Johnny G knows I was not wrong with the Optimum there. You wait as we continue here on the Vinyltreasure show. And I have to apologize in advance for the condition of this next 45. I had a chance. Spence offered me a nice clean copy, wanted $1,000 for it though. But I bought this record a long time ago when Seymour Simon was selling his collection. And those old-time collectors, well, not ones doing radio shows. I'm not going to put everybody in there. But a lot of people that went to Times Square Records back in the day, they really didn't care about condition. They just wanted the record. So, you can get the record for $3. It's like it was either $3 in VG condition or mint condition. They really weren't kind of saying, oh, the mint one goes for more. But it does go for more. And I should have taken the mint one. I made a mistake. But I've got Seymour's old copy, and either he played the heck out of it. It's not so bad, but it is. It is a worn VG, but it's such a great record. And it's a request for George Tompkins. Now, this group, they're from Baltimore, Maryland, but they recorded for a Philadelphia label. We go back to Ivan Ballin's Gotham record label, and this is their second release on Gotham. It's a request for George. Now, the lead singer on this is a very young Terry Johnson, and if you know Terry Johnson, he would later on join the Flamingos, did leads on many of the later end releases. Lovers Never Say Goodbye, But Not For Me, Love Walked In, Beside You, When I Fall in Love. That is Terry Johnson on lead, but he is doing lead on this one. This is from June of 1955. These are the Whispers on the Gotham label, and their tune called Are You Sorry?
I'm through with all love. I'll never fall again. Come back to me. Or have you too much pride? Come back to
you sorry, darling,
I never thought
that now my poor heart is so lonely and blue, just waiting for you?
mean so much to
Please
me.
come back to me, darling. Now, as I am lying home in my bed, not able to sleep, I keep asking myself the same over and over and over and over.
Are you sorry?
Sorry, sorry, sorry that you made me cry. I know you love me. I know you love me. My dear,
I'm through with old love. I'll never fall again.
That's the great sound of the Whispers going out to George Tompkins there. Terry Johnson on lead, June 1955 release. That's their second release on the Gotham record label. Are You Sorry is the name of the tune. The only thing Johnny G is sorry about, I didn't buy that mint copy when I had a chance. You learn from your mistakes is what you do. As we continue here, we stay in 1955 with a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. An early request for Matey, as this group is from the Morrisania section of the Bronx. They signed with Joe Davis's JD record label. The result were 4 releases. Their most popular tune, I'm sure many of you know their most popular tune, was called Smoke from Your Cigarette. That was from January 1955, but this is their 4th release. They're actually their 4th and final release on Joe Davis's JD record label. It features Lillian Leach on lead. This is going out to Matey Campboy, August 1955. These are the Mellows on JD with Yesterday's Memories.
Yesterday's memories, I keep thinking of yesterday's memories. I hope you'll come back to me and say, darling, I was wrong. My dear, I would be happy as a lark singing on a tree if you would only come back to me and say, let's start it over again. First you lie, then you cry, and give me a song and a dance. Oh my darling, how I love you. You leave me standing in a trance. Oh, now you are gone, leaving me with yesterday's memories. I wish I could say to you, my dear, take back your yesterday's memories. Oh, now you are gone, leaving me with yesterday's memories. I wish I could say to you, my dear, take back your yesterday's memories. Yesterday's memories.
August 1955 release there by the Mellows, Lillian Leach and the Mellows. Joe Davis's JD record label, Yesterday's Memories. That's by request for Matey Campoy. Now, after this release, they would sign with Celeste Records. And I think their last two releases came out on the Candlelight record label. I have that Celeste, at which they got two on Celeste, I think. I still need one. I think that's two on Celeste, but doesn't play that well, the other one. And I need to upgrade that, as I do need to upgrade a few records in my collection. But let's continue now. We move into 1956. Now, last week I featured this group from Brooklyn, New York, their second of three on Joe Leibowitz's premium record label. The side I played was called Teasin' Heart. That was a request for listener Joe Shacatano, Feel Better, Joe S. But that featured Rudy Anderson on lead. Let's give a listen to the flip side here before it goes back down in the No Humidity basement. Now, I don't know who's on lead on the flip side here. It definitely is not Rudy, though. But it's from September 56. It's a cool jump. These are the Wheels on the premium label, and their tune is called Loco. Loco.
Drinking soda like the water, spending dollars like the quarters, cause I'm loco in love. I really went for the dame I met at a dance. Loco in love. The chick really made me think that I had a chance. Loco in love. At 2 o'clock the dance was ending, so as I romanced, I went to skipping and the hopping, flipping and the flopping. I really thought that I could fly. Nipping and the sipping and the winking and the blinking, a mixed up cat was I. To me it wasn't funny when that honey took my money and she left me standing here to cry. That's when I went loco in love. I went loco in love. Loco in love. I went loco in love. I went loco in love. He's loco. Really made a mess when she gave me the wrong address and $1 for the telephone too. My heart was beating and repeating, hoping that she would be greeting. But I've got news for you. It was the police station without a hesitation. The only thing that I could think to do. That's when I went loco in love. I went loco in love. Loco in love.
Those are the Wheels there. They say Alan Bunn, he's on the lead. I would think it is. Sounds like the same lead that did the flip of My Heart's Desire, Let's Have a Ball, which is a cool jump to that flip side. But those are the Wheels there. September 1956 release on the premium record label. Loco is the name of the tune. Johnny G went loco when I was talking to that Optimum lady on the phone there, and she was not happy. She didn't know what to tell me. I'm telling you, I just went off on her. I did. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we are in 56, and on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the Debonaires. Debonaires, a group from Atlanta, Georgia. They're second of two on Ping Records, which is out of Chicago. The side was called Cracker Jack Daddy. Now, the flip is an excellent ballad, as it was requested by listener George Tompkins. It features Ralph Johnson on lead, and on this side they sound so much. I think they're trying to sound so much like the Eldorados. This is from December 1956. The Debonaires on the Ping label. Going out to George. It's called Say a Prayer for Me.
On your knees, say a prayer for me. If you please, say a prayer for me. Bind my humble heart with yours so true. Can't you see that I love you? I do. Keep the faith in the things that you do. I'll be there by your side when you're blue. Wherever you go, whatever you do, and darling, I hope that you'll see. I'll be praying for you, hoping you'll pray for me.
That's going out to George Tompkins there, the Debonaires from December 1956 on the Ping record label, and their tune called Say a Prayer for Me. And that one there, the lead singer there, Ralph Johnson on that one. Gotta say hi to Mark Himphin, listening over in the UK at this early hour, this early morning time over there. And he tunes into the Vinyltreasure show. Mark, it's 15 degrees here in Westchester County, New York. It's clear, though, but it is cold. We still have ice all over the place. No snow. The snow melted the other day. It was like almost 50, and then it dropped to like 20, like real quick. So everything kind of froze. So it's really kind of treacherous out there. But anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure show. Now, last week, I played a request for Eddie Brown in New Zealand. He requested the Cashmeres. They were out of Atlanta, Georgia. Their final release as the Cashmeres on Al Silver's Herald record label. It was called Little Dream Girl. Now, listener Nick Nicola asked if I could play the flip, which again features Grover Mitchell on lead. This one from April 1956. This is going out to Nick. These are the Cashmeres on Herald. It's called Do I Upset You?
Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Well, hey, hey, I wanna know. Do I upset you?
Tell me, baby.
I wanna know. Well, do you really care for me? Well, I wanna know if now that my kisses are not sweet. Oh, baby, tell me, I wanna know.
I wanna know.
I wanna know.
Well,
Do you mean it when you say you love me?
say you love me.
wanna know if you really, really, really do. Well, to make me flip my lip, you better come on in, you did. Baby, tell me, tell me, tell me, I wanna know. Well, you promised to be faithful, always start above. Well, if you broke your promise, please answer me.
Oh my Lord.
I wanna know.
I wanna know.
Do I upset you?
Tell me, baby.
I wanna know. Do you really care for me? Please don't tell me yes or no. I can't stand that, maybe so. Baby, tell me, tell me, tell me. I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. I wanna know. Or do you mean it when you say you love me?
Hey, you love me.
I wanna know. And if you really, really, really do, please don't make me flip my lip. You better come on in, you did. Baby, tell me, tell me, tell me, I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know. Ay, 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 I wanna know.
Those are the Cashmeres. Are going out to Nick Nicola there. That's the flip side of Little Dream Girl, a song entitled Do I Upset You from April 1956. Al Silver's Herald record label for that one. Now this with their next release. It came out on the subsidiary Ember record label, but the group changed their name to the Mark Tones. Then they had one more release on Wonder. I should pull that record out to play as the Cashmeres with a K. That's a good tune also. As we continue here on the 50s edition of the Vinyltreasure Show. Let's go back to Brooklyn, New York for this next group. They had two overall releases. Their first came out in 1955 on the JD record label. They followed it up with this one, excuse me, that came out on the Samson label, written by group member Melvin Johnson, who I think is doing lead on this. This one from 1956. These are the Golden Tones. The Golden Tones, excuse me, on Samson, and the song is called I'm Wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong. Yes, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm so wrong. You. What else can I do? I'm so wrong for you.
Wrong for
Oops, that a little bit too early. Those are the Golden Tones. The Golden Tones on the Samson label, 1956. Song entitled "I'm Wrong." I forget there might have been some small quantity on that 45 at one time, but a lot of the quantity records have kind of dried up through the years. All these years have gone by, and I don't know. I don't know how easy it is to get that record or not. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go out to California now to the Combo record label. This is Jake Porter's Combo Records. It's a request for George Tompkins. Now, before Darlene Love became a member of the Blossoms, she was a member of this Los Angeles group, this male-female group. They were called the Echoes, and at that time she was known as Darlene Wright. Okay, and back then, she was in this group along with members Elmo Jones. He was the first tenor. Miles Grayson was the second tenor. Edward DeVold, he was the baritone. And the lead singer on this, her name is Marcetta Freeman. Marcetta Freeman, she's the lead on this. This is on Jake Porter's Combo record label, and this is a request for George Tompkins. Not an easy 45 to find. From September 1956, these are the Echoes. The Echoes on the Combo label. It's called A Senorita for George.
Well, every day about night. Well, every day, it's a day about night. That's the time that my darling I'm feeling fine. Well, I love you in the morning, love you in the nighttime too. Yes, I love you in the morning, love you in the nighttime too. Because my darling, you know just what to do. Oh, my moochie, gobble, gobble, moochie, bow, bow. Oh, my moochie, gobble, gobble, moochie, bow, bow. Oh, my moochie, gobble, gobble, moochie, bow, bow.
September 1956 release there, Jake Porter's Combo Records out of Los Angeles, California, by request for George Tompkins. Those are the Echoes. Marcetta Freeman on lead, that group of guys and gals, the Echoes. A Senorita is the name of the tune. They have another release on the specialty label. I think Darlene Love does one of the flip sides. She might do the flip on this. I have to check. But anyway, it's not an easy record to find. Let's move into 1957 now as we go to Harlem, New York with a Kitty lead here. And this is another request, early request, for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. Now, this is the group's third single on OK Records. Now, both sides are cool. Or I remember at least hearing them on the oldie circuit back in the 1970s, and they feature girls' names. And one side is called Pearl, but the side that Matey requested, it's called Carol, and it features Leslie Martin on lead. This charted number one. This was a big number one record, believe it or not, on WKBW, a station out of Buffalo, New York. This is with Leroy Kirkland and the orchestra, July 1957, going out to Matey Campboy. These are the Schoolboys. The Schoolboys on OK with their tune called Carol.
And there is Carol up above, and she's the one for me. I love her, yes, I do, and I'll never let her go. Well, Carol, I love you so. Please come back, because I love you so.
Carol, my dear, please come back. I love you. You know I do. Carol, my dear, I'll be sincere.
Please come back to me. Well, Carol, I love you so. Please come back, because I love you so.
As going out to my number one California listener, that is Matey Campboy. She is in our chat room. I have to say hello to Matey. Those are the Schoolboys. Leslie Martin and the Schoolboys, July 1957 release on the OK record label. It's called Carol. It's on Styrene. Plays okay, but again, I don't like styrene. I don't. I prefer nice mint vinyl, like this next one here, which is a request for listener Timothy, who's in our YouTube chat room. Now, this group is out of the Bronx, New York. They first recorded as the Chords back in 1954 on the Cat record label. Cat Records, a subsidiary of Atlantic. Of course, you know their big hit, a song, the original version, too, of the song called Shaboom. Then they recorded also as the Chord Cats. Then they changed their name to the Shabooms. And here's one they did on Vic Records. Vic Records, a subsidiary of RCA Records. Now, interesting thing about this is the song was written by Shirley Elliston. She was writing lots of cool tunes back in the late 1950s. Of course, Shirley Elliston, she recorded as Shirley Ellis, you know, of the Name Game. Had a big hit in 1965. But this one from September 1957, this is going out to Timothy, features Carl Feaster. He's on lead. These are the Shabooms, a.k.a. the Chords, on the Vic label. It's another girl's name. Her name is Lulu.
Look what you've done to me, helpless as I can be, so much in love with you, and love with you. I know there's another who, hallelujah, cares as much for you, but I hope that you pick me. That you pick me. Life is but a dream, I told you. Everything you wanted to be. Each time I kiss you and hold you, life just one big symphony. Hey, Lulu, look what you've done to me. Helpless as I can be, Lulu, so much in love with you. Love with you. Lulu, look what you've done to me, to me. Helpless as I can be, can be. I know, there is another who, Lulu, cares just as much for you, for you. Life could be a dream, I told you. Everything you wanted to be. Each time I kiss you and hold you, life just one big symphony. Hey, look what you've done to me. Helpless as I can be, Lulu, so much in love with you. So much, so much, so much in love with you, Lulu.
That's going out to Timothy in our YouTube chat room. I haven't heard that in a long, long time. Nice to hear that tune. The Shabooms there, Carl Feaster and the Shabooms, a.k.a. the Chords, a.k.a. the Chord Cats. It's on Vic Records, September 1957 release. Song entitled Lulu is the name of that tune. We continue now. We are in 1957. Now, last week, I played a request for listener Emnon. He requested this cool group out of Baltimore, Maryland. They were known as the Kings. First recorded as Bobby Hall and the Kings on the Jax label, but once Bobby Hall he left the group, Adolphus Holcomb, he became the new lead singer for the group, and they were known as the Kings. Now, Emnon requested their release on George Goldner's Gone record label, Don't Go, but it was listener Nick Nicola and Darrell Letts, and also maybe George Tompkins that requested the flip, which I also prefer, by the way. This one from September 1957. Let's give a listen to the Kings. The Kings on Gone. Adolphus Holcomb, he's the lead singer. It's called Love is Something from Within.
I know what it is to be in love with someone who's not in love with you. Remember, my friend, love is something that's from within. It keeps you worried with falling tears, wondering, my friend, can this love be real? And remember, my friend, love is something that's from within. Why should we worry about such strange things as long as stars are in the sky? Why should we worry about such strange things? Well, it all is best to find. And if His blessings should abide in you, then let His power just carry you through. And remember my friend. Love is something that's from within. Now go home now and dry your tears and go for some or something that's real and remember my friend, love is something that's from within.
That's going out to George Tompkins, also going out to Nick Nicola and Darrell Letts. A rare 45 by the Kings, Adolphus Holcomb and the Kings there. September 1957, George Goldner's Gone record label, Love is Something from Within, is what, that's a cool tune. Now, I got to really thank all of you that comment. My father celebrated his 91st birthday yesterday, and he wouldn't let me take a picture. I have a picture today, because my brother Michael and my sister-in-law Jill, they came up this afternoon, and they spent some time, a couple hours up here for lunch, and they filmed him blowing out his candles. Jill made a cake, and it's some special apple thing. But thank you all. He was really overwhelmed. He's like, I don't know these people. I said, Dad, they're listeners to the program, a lot of them, and my high school friends and my regular friends and friends of the program, and they're wishing you, it's a feat to get to. Listen, I'll be happy. I'm not counting on making it to 91, but anyway, each day is a blessing for my father and also for my mother. So a lot of us, we don't have our parents here, and I'm thankful that I do. But he thanks you all for his birthday wishes, and I do too. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, now here's a request for listener Joe Shacatano. Now this group had a monster hit, I'm sure many of you know, from 1957. If you're familiar with the tune Silhouettes on the Cameo label, maybe you own it on XYZ. But either way, but initially in late 1955, this group first recorded with Leonard Chess's Chess record label. Their first release was something called Tippity Top. But then they signed with Bob Crew, and I forget who the other guy is. I think he's the guy that is on Swan Records. Bob Crew and someone else owned this XYZ label. And Silhouettes was then climbing the charts at the time. And Leonard Chess said, you know what? We got a couple of songs in the can by the Rays. Let's put it out on Chess Records. And he tried that to capitalize on that hit Silhouettes. So this is the group's second release on Chess Records, and it's a request for Joe Shacatano. This has Hal Miller on lead. We go back to November 1957 for the Rays. Hal Miller and the Rays on Chess, and their tune called Second Fiddle. This is for Joe.
Don't remember the night when we met. Try not to remember, and please forget. All of these things are faded and gone. Who's playing second fiddle now? Love was so different, but how could you know love will follow you wherever you go? All of those moments
That's Hal Miller and the Rays. That's going out to Joe Shacatano. November 1957 release. Leonard Chess's Chess record label on that one. Second Fiddle is the name of the tune. Now, by the way, for you collectors out there, if you purchased this 45 in the Chicago area, your copy's probably on the Argo label, because that record was also released on Argo. I have it on the 78 on Argo, but the national presses were on Chess. The local presses in Chicago were on Argo. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, a request for George Tompkins for Otis Williams. It's on Sid Nathan's King record label. Now, have to tell you about this record. The A side of this is a solo effort by Otis Williams called Unchain My Heart, which was originally released in April of 1964. But the flip side is actually a 1957 recording, February 57 for the flip side here, with Otis Williams and his charms, or his new charms at the time. And you can check it out because the matrix number here falls right into that missing matrix number. If you have Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file, I'll show you the record again and you'll see the different matrix number. The GB or GR fits right in there, February 1957. So although it says Otis Williams on the flip, it is really Otis Williams and the charms here. This is going out to George Tompkins, February 57 recording on King Records. It's called Friends Call Me a Fool. This is for George.
Friends call me a fool, and a fool I may be. If so, then you and love made this fool of me. You two got together and you plotted my downfall. Then you sent me the word, call. I fell for the pleasure I saw in your eyes, pleasures that turned out just to be a pack of lies, and so no wonder my friends all laugh at at what a fool I turned out to be. I fell for the pleasure I saw in your eyes, pleasures that turned out, yeah, just to be a pack of lies, and so no wonder my friends all laugh at me. They're laughing at what a fool I turned out to be.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. That's Otis Williams and his charms. Recorded in February 1957, released as a B-side in April of 1964. I think it's Unchain My Heart is the flip side of that. Friends Call Me a Fool, that one there on the King record label. You know, a lot of labels did that. The Drifters flip sides, also some of the Clyde McPhatters on Atlantic, the flip sides were done in the late 50s. They're using early 50s releases on that, even into the 1960s, early 1960s. But anyway, that is a cool tune. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And I got to say hi to Bobby Gass in the YouTube chat room there. And earlier we heard from The Wheels on the Premium record label. I played Loco. Now, after leaving Premium, actually Premium, the owner of the label had a massive heart attack. He died, dropped dead in the office, and the Premium record label just went kaput. And unfortunate for those people there. But after Premium, the group changed their name to the Federals, and they signed with Bobby Robinson's Fury record label. And then I think this release came out on Sid Nathan's Deluxe record label, and it's a request for listener Emnon, and it's a cover of a Del Vikings tune. Now, the lead on this is Rudy Anderson. This is going out to Emnon, February 57. Give a listen to the Federals, a.k.a. The Wheels, on the Deluxe label, and their rendition of the tune, Come, Go With Me, for Emnon.
Yes, love me, darling. Come go with me, please don't send me way beyond the sea. I know, darling, so come go with me. Go with me. Come into my heart, tell me, darling, we will never part. I know, darling, so come go with me. Yes, I need you. Yes, I really need you. Please say you'll never leave me. I'll say never. Yes, you really never.
Never give me a chance.
Come into my heart, tell me, darling, we will never part. I know, darling, so come go with me.
Give me a chance.
Oh, come into my heart, tell me, darling, we will never part. I know, darling, so come go with me. Come go with me. Come go with me. Come go with me. Come go with me.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there for listener Emnon. Those are the Federals. The Federals with Rudy Anderson and the Federals doing the Del Viking tune from February 57, Come Go With Me, on the Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records. We are in the year 1957. Let's head back to the West Coast. This group from Los Angeles, California. A request for listener Daniel Kubacki. So many great tunes by this group called The Sharps. This one's on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin record label, written by Carl White. Carl White, who was doing lead on this with the bass of the group. I think his name is Rocky Wilson. Rocky Wilson, I think, is the lead on this. So this is going out to Daniel. September 1957. These are the Sharps on Aladdin. The name of the tune is called What Will I Gain?
Oh, what will I gain? I gain. What will I gain? I gain.
If I own to stop,
Oh, what will I gain?
what would I gain? If I had kings and more, I'd have nothing, nothing, nothing.
What will I gain?
Unless I had your love.
Oh, what will I gain?
What will I gain? If you want me to rock,
Oh, what will I gain?
what will I gain? All we do is fight. I'd have nothing, nothing, nothing.
What will I gain?
Wouldn't even have your love.
Nothing, nothing, nothing.
Nothing.
My poor heart is bleeding. Oh,
Nothing, nothing, nothing.
Nothing.
for your love's all I'm needing. And baby, don't you know every word I say is true. All I ever wanted was love from you.
Oh, what will I gain?
What will I gain?
Oh, what will I gain?
What will I gain? Nothing, nothing, nothing.
I wouldn't have your love.
Oh, baby, come on and tell me.
What will I gain?
What will I gain?
They're called the Sharps. The Sharps going out to Daniel Kubacki on the Aladdin record label. That one there released in September 1957. What Will I Gain is the name of the tune. No, this group recorded on so many different groups. They were under different aliases like the Tenderfoots and the 4 After 5s. Also, I think the Ebb-Tides on that, what is that weird looking label that's on there? I forget the name of the label. I can just picture it in my head. Also, the Twisters, and of course the Rivingtons, and I think others too, other aliases. Lots of groups did that back in the 50s and early 60s. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here tonight, and hope the stream is coming in loud and clear. No buffering, better not be any buffering, as the upload speed nowhere near 36. I think it's like 400, 500 now, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Maybe I can actually increase the pixel view and stuff, so I got to play around with it a little bit. But let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure show. And last week I played the B-side of this 45. Actually, it was a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, on a Malcolm Newkirk Central label. The group out of Harlem, New York, they were called the Ladins. It was their debut single. It was actually the B-side. It was called Did It, but listeners Darrell Letts and George Tompkins wanted to hear the intended A-side. Now, the true first presses of this came out on the Yellow Central label, which I showed you that last week. I put it back in the box, but I'm featuring the Pink label here, which plays a tad better. And this is from June of 1958. This is for George and Darrell. These are the Ladins on Central. This is the A-side. It's called Now You're Gone.
You said you love me, and now you gone. I've waited so long for your love, and now you gone. And now you gone. You said you love me, and now you gone.
waited so long, long, long for your love, and now you're gone, 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 and now you're gone.
As going out to Daryl and George, those are the Laddins. Bobby J, a member of that group, by the way. The Laddins there, June 1958. It's on the Central record label. Now You're Gone is the name of the tune. Johnny G not going anywhere, not till at least 1 or 1:30. I try to get out of here by 1:30 so George can make his church tomorrow, although it's going to be cold. It's 14 degrees right now. We got the half moon here over in Westchester County. Don't know what the weather is where you are, but it is really chilly here tonight. So Johnny G keeping you warm with these cool 45s as we continue here. And up next, a group called The Intervals, as they are from Los Angeles, California. They recorded 2 on the AD label, AD Records. This would later on be picked up by Apt Records for national distribution. Of course, Apt Records, a division of ABC Paramount record label, but this is featuring it on the original label. This is with Chuck Morris and the band. The lead singer on this, his name is Cleve O'Dear. Cleve O'Dear is on lead, and believe it or not, this charted number 11. This was a number 11 record on KOL out of Seattle, Washington, released in October 58. The Intervals on AD. It's called Side Street.
A place where broken-hearted lovers go, a street that happy people never know, a street of broken dreams. Side street, a street the sunshine always passes by, a place where lovesick people go to cry, a place of solitude. Sad lovers go there, they sit and stare, dreaming of what used to be. Sad lovers go there, they sit and stare, hoping love will set them free. Side street, a gloomy little street in any town, a place to go when love has let you down, a street of broken dreams. Side street, a gloomy little street in any town, a place to go when love has let you down, a street of broken dreams, a street of broken dreams, a street of broken dreams.
October 1958 release there for The Intervals. The Intervals on the AD record label. Side Street is the name of the tune. You know, those side streets, they never get plowed during the snowstorm, although I don't know what they're putting on the roads they put some kind of salt. The roads are complete. I know that cannot be good for your car because the roads are like white with this chemical. Who knows what this chemical is? I just got a thing in the mail. It said that the drinking water, my local drinking water, had some, they did some kind of, something was not right. It was too much of some kind of chlorine. I knew it smelled horrible. So I told my mother, I said, I got to go buy Poland Spring. I said, because I knew when I put, because sometimes it gets some moisture in the air. I don't have a humidifier in my room, but it gets hot upstairs where I sleep. So I put like a little pan of water on the radiator. And when it dried, it looked like there was all this, it looked like salt, but there was a lot. I'm going, what is in this water? But they had some kind of failure or something. They said there was too much of a chemical, and they said if you have a certain amount of it, it is cancer causing, but you have to drink like 30 times the thing. I says, I don't care. I said, that is crazy. Anyway, how we get on Side Street to get to water, I don't know. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures show. Let's go to Chicago, Illinois. This group is out of Chicago, Illinois, and it's a request for listener George Tompkins. And Brian, this is Norm's record, this 45. The first recording on Connie Toole's Theron label. They do a great two-sided 45 called... The Dream, I think. No, You're the Dream and Calypso Mama. That was in December of 1955. Here is their next release from January 1958. This is on Norman Forgue's Stephanie label, which is out of Evanston, Illinois. And this one is from January 58. They're called the Marvellos. The Marvellos on the Stephanie record label, going out to George Tompkins. It's called Come Back, My Love, for George.
Come back, my love. Oh, please come back to me. Bring back your love as it used to be. It used to be. Come back, my love, and fill my empty heart. What did I do that caused us to part? Caused us to part. I've gone back all over those moments we knew, but I can't see where I have done any harm. But this much is true, life here without you has lost its charm. Oh, it's plain to see as stars that shine above. You're meant for me. Oh, come back, my love. Come back, my love. I've gone back all over those moments we knew, but I can't see where I have done any harm. But this much is true, life here without you has lost its charm. Oh, it's plain to see as stars that shine above. You're meant for me. Oh, come back, my love. Oh, you're meant for me. Come back, my love.
Those are the Marvellos by request for George Tompkins, January 58. On the Stephanie record label, Come Back My Love is the name of the tune. They also have a release on the Marvello label that I'm looking for, George. I thought I had it, but I can't seem to find it. As we continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and of course, Brian, you do like the novelties, I know. Let's continue here. We go back to Brooklyn, New York. This is a request for Ryan Heisey. This is actually a B-side. I wonder, did Gus Gossard play this side? I know he played the heck out of the flip side of this, a song called Chapel Bells, but this was the group's debut single, written by the lead singer Tony Pasalacqua. These are the Fascinators. This is a request for Ryan Heisey. This is the flip side of Chapel Bells from September 1958. The Fascinators on the Capitol label. It's called I Wonder Who, for Ryan.
Well, now, who could love me and make me do things my heart won't let me do? Yes, it's only you. Why my heart flips and does a sigh every time you come into my eye. Yes, that's why I love you. Well, I wonder why my heart flips and does a sigh every time you come into my eye. Yes, that's why I love you, love you, I love you. Well, I wonder who could love me and make me do things my heart won't let me do. Yes, it's only you. Well, I wonder why my heart flips and does a sigh every time you come into my eye. Yes, that's why I love you, love you, I love you. Well, I wonder who could love me and make me do things my heart won't let me do. Yes, it's only you.
Those are the Fascinators, Tony Pasalacqua and the Fascinators. That's the B-side to their debut single, Chapel Bells, song entitled I Wonder Who. That's going out to Ryan Heisey, September 1958. It's on the Capitol record label. Now, this particular song, actually both sides of this, would be re-released in 1961. Capitol Records put it out again. I think, again, maybe Slim Rose had something to do with that, and Times Square Records. But he was definitely instrumental with getting records re-released by these major record companies. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, a request for listener Emnon as we go to Columbus, Ohio for this group, and their debut single came out on the ESTA label. They were known as the Columbus Pharaohs with their debut single. It was called Give Me Your Love, but then they would subsequently, that song be issued on Howard Ransom's Ransom record label as the Four Pharaohs, but Emnon requested their second release, which has a typo on the label logo, as it's not Ransom on this, it's Ranson, R-A-N-S-O-N, not Ransom. That is a mistake, but it's another excellent tune. This one from October 58, going out to Emnon. Morris Wade, he's the lead singer. These are the Four Pharaohs on Ranson. It's called Pray for Me, for Emnon.
Pray for me, pray for me, so I return home to know many a man have left to go overseas, and some of them never return safe and free. Now, darling, pray for me. You know I love you and always will. Now, darling, tell me that you're thrilled. Our love can last as long as we're free. Even after there's no water in the sea. Pray for me, so I'll return home safe and free. Oh, my darling, pray for me, so I'll return safe and free. Safe and free.
As by request for listener Amnon there, those are the Four Pharaohs. Four Pharaohs with Morris Wade on lead, October 1958 release on the Ranson record label. It should be Ransom. I will show you that label again. A song entitled Pray For Me in their next release, ultra rare 45 by the group. But anyway, let's continue here. In 1958, we go to a Kitty Lead now. This is on Hiram Johnson's Johnson record label, and it's the only release for a group called the Cordovans. The Cordovans, yes, the Cordovans with a V. I always mess that up. But I remember buying this 45. I bought this from Louis Silvani in Times Square Records when he had the Dobbs Ferry store. As it was close to Johnny G, I would go there every Saturday, and I'd sit there talking to Glenn Fousel, and he'd be checking all these records in the database, and then he would put my name next to it, and I would go pick them up on that Thursday night when Greg Surik would bring them up to the store. That's how I worked it back then. I forget, that store's been long gone for a long time, but I bought that from Louis Silvani in that Dobbs Ferry store. But this group is called the Cordovans, and it's the tune written by group member Alvin Hassel. And this would later on be re-released in 1960, but I'm featuring the first press with the double lines. I'll show it to you again after it plays. February 58, the Cordovans on Johnson. It's called Come On Baby.
Boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom, boom. Shoot, shoot, ba 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 ba. Shoot, shoot, ba 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 ba. Shoot, shoot, ba 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 ba.
Come on, baby, I love you so. Come on, baby, won't let you go. Come on, baby, I love you so. Come on, baby, I give your love from the northern China Club. Come on, baby, I love you so. I really, really love you.
Are you really mine?
I really, really need you.
Enough time.
I really, really want you.
Are you are so fine?
Come on, baby, I love you so. Come on, baby, won't let you go. Come on, baby, I love you so.
Kitty Leeds here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, the Cordovans. Cordovans from February 1958. That's on the Johnson label. Come On Baby is the name of the tune. Re-released again in 1960. Again, yes, Jerry, with the revival of the music. I actually came in the early 70s of the revival of the music, but it really happened around 1960-61. That's when the music started taking off again. And when a lot of those early time collectors were going into Times Square Records down in Times Square of New York City. That's when it really began the first time. Then the 70s with Gus Gossard. That's when I came into the mix, and I'm into the mix now after 63 years. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we are in the year 1958, killing two birds with one stone on this next release, a request for both Joe Shacatano and George Tompkins for this group that has this lone single on the Tempest record label. Tempest Records is out of Peoria, Illinois. Now, the stock copies are this. You know, normally the record label owners, they were pretty smart. But, with the although we don't want to say they use recycled vinyl, that's not being smart. But usually with their print and their logos and their typeset, they may have spelt some things wrong, but you can barely see this green label with this silver print. The promo is so much easier to read on this, but I have actually 2 copies of this on stock. But anyway, this is on the Tempest label out of Peoria, Illinois, and I'm guessing the group is also local to Peoria, and it was written by the lead singer on this. His name is Herb Price, and his backup group, they're called the Darts. From November 1958, this is going out to Joe Shacatano and George Tompkins, Herb Price and the Darts on the Tempest label. It's called Gone Too Long.
Darling, I'm sorry for the way I broke your heart. Please forgive me. Can we make a brand new start? Somewhere, somehow. Well, I guess I've done you wrong. Let's make a mistake. You've been gone too long. Like a baby, if you ever turn me down, well, somewhere, somehow, darling, I lost love and still keep on, darling, I'm sorry. For the way I broke your heart. Please, please forgive me. You've been gone too long. Gone too
As going out to Joe Shacatano and George Tompkins. They both requested that cool tune from November 1958 by Herb Price and the Darts. It's on the Tempest record label. Gone Too Long is the name of the tune. The Rockin' R's has some cool instrumentals on this Tempest record label. And then there's another one, I think the Volcanoes, if I'm not mistaken. I have that 45. That's a cool intro also. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we head to New Haven, Connecticut with another request, this time for Timothy. If Timothy is still in our YouTube chat room, this is on Al Silver's Ember record label. Now, he requested the 5 Satins, although on this release, they specified Fred Paris as the lead. He came back from the service, and this release came out in June of 1958. So this is Fred Paris and the is it the Satins on this one? Yeah, it is the Satins. It's not the 5 Satins. So this is Fred Paris and the Satins. And this was their 7th release on the Ember label. So this is going out to Timothy. Now, this charted number 26 on WCOP. That station is out of Boston, Massachusetts. We go back to June 1958. Fred Paris and the Satins. This is for Timothy on Ember Records. It's called A Night to Remember.
A night to remember when you're all alone. Your sword pierced my heart, dear. No more shall I roam. I would fight 10,000 dragons just to be by your side. Please remember. Our love is a love that will never ever die, just like the endless sea. The armor that covers this spark in my heart will last for eternity. A night to remember, oh, just like long ago. I'll shield and protect you forever, you know. Please remember.
As by request for Timothy, those are Fred Paris and the Satins on that release, June 1958. It's on Al Silver's Ember record. That's their 7th release for Ember. A Night to Remember is the name of the tune. I forgot to welcome in the Oldies and More Radio Network here to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you all for tuning into the program as we are in the year 1959 now. And last week I played a request for listener Ronnie Sherman. Ronnie, thank you for your email this week. A great tune by a California group, actually a group out of Los Angeles, California, called The Classics. Came out on the Rowan record label. The song was called Je vous aime. Je vous aime was the name of the tune, if I said it right. And the flip side's also a pretty cool tune, as requested by Darrell Letts and George Tompkins. This one from March 1959. These are The Classics on Rowan Records. It's called Burning Desire.
Woke up, woke up, woke up, ooh. Woke up, woke up, woke up, ooh. Burning desire deep in my heart. Burning desire will never part. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Woke up, woke up, woke up, burning desire, love only you. Burning desire, please be true. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Woke up, woke up, woke up.
You know this flame burns deep in my heart, deep in my heart for you. have lost the steam. Now you have broken my heart into a
burning desire, love only you. Burning desire, please be true. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Whoop up, whoop up, whoop up. Ooh. Burning desire, deep in my heart. Burning desire, we'll never part. Burning desire, please be my guiding light. Whoop up, whoop up, whoop up. Whoop up, whoop up, whoop up. Whoop up, whoop up, whoop up. Whoop up, whoop up, whoop up.
Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Great two-sided 45 by the Classics there, March 1959, Burning Desire. So it came out on the Rowan record label. Now, this group would later record as the Viceroys with a release on Art LeBeau's Original Sound record label. They do a nice cover of Dreamy Eyes, but that's a cool tune. I have another release, the Deltones, I think is the other group on the Rowan record label. Bought them both at the same time from dealer Jerry Diaz out in California. Where is Jerry Diaz? As we continue here on Vinyl Treasures, how about we take a trip to Detroit, Michigan here with a very rare 45. Now, this group had releases prior to this on the Coral record label. This is their very last 45 on the Detroit-based Stardust record label, and this features Alton Hollowell. He's the lead singer on this. This group was discovered by Duke Ellington, who brought them to Coral Records at the time, but this is their last release, really a rare 45 from 1959. We'll give a listen to The Enchanters. The Enchanters on Stardust Records. It's called Spellbound by the Moon.
Spellbound by the moon that shines bright, hurry home soon, so you can love me. Spellbound by the moon, I'm so in love with you. All I do is pray. Oh, I'm so lonely that I'll hear you say that you want me. Spellbound by the moon, I'm so in love with you. Well, well, what did he say? Did he say? Girl, what did he say? Did he say? What did he say? Did he say? I wanna know what he said. Oh, what did he say? Did he say? Now, what did he say? Did he say? He said, please hurry home soon, because I'm spellbound by the moon that shines bright. Hurry home soon, so you can love me. Spellbound by the moon, I'm so in love with you. Spellbound by the moon.
We'll send that one out to Carl Pellegrino of Motor City Music. I know he loves that tune. Those are the Enchanters, Alton Alton Holloway, lead singer there, and his brothers, a part of that group, 1959 on the Stardust record label, Spellbound by the Moon. Hopefully Johnny G not making you spellbound by these cool 45s. I just enjoy playing these records. This is really the only time I get to listen to the whole song. I was testing records last night, testing records to see if I should play them on this show or on my Monday night show, which is Monday from 8 to 11 right here on Oldies and More Radio and also on YouTube. That's Eileen Soul on that Monday night show. But I hope you're enjoying the tunes tonight, and let's continue here. Now, on last week's Vinyl Treasure show, I featured another rare 45 here on the Gaiety record label. Brian Korn, when are you finding me a yellow vinyl copy of this? It should be in your area, should be around there. You should be able to get me a copy. I'll pay your price. Don't worry about that, but it's a rare 45 on the Gaiety record label out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, although the group is out of St. Paul. And I featured the intended A-side, which was called My Dear, but the B-side is really the better side in my opinion, and it is a request for Nick Nicola and Daryl Letts. The lead singer on this is John Stafford. This one from June 1959. These are the Valquins. The Valquins on Gaiety Records, and their tune is called Falling Star.
Darling, I still love you so, but there's one thing I want you to know. Falling stars never ever rise to their place in the sky. Oh, what's there?
June 1959 release there for the Valquins. It's on the Gaiety record label. Gaiety Records there. John Stafford, he's the lead singer on that. Falling Star is the name of the tune. See, two Moon records, Spellbound by the Moon and then Falling Star. I can do a Moon show. That's a cool theme. Lots of these records, songs about the moon and the stars. That is for sure. Let's continue here. We stay in 1959 as this group, it's on Art Godfrey's Gottfried's Harvard Records, which is, I think, out of New York City, yes. Oh, and it's a cool two-sided 45. Now, this group is out of Newark, New Jersey. It's from April of 1959. The lead singer is Danny Studnicki. That's a cool name. Hey, Danny Studnicki. He's the lead singer on this. This is from April 1959. They're called the Apollos. The Apollos on the Harvard label. It's called I Love You, Darling. That group out of Newark, New Jersey, they're called the Apollos. Danny Studnicki, he's the lead singer, April 1957 on the Harvard label. Harvard Records for that. I Love You, Darling is the name of that one. We stay in 1959, and last week I played a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy. He requested the Harp Tones. Actually, they had the debut release on Morty Craft's newly formed Warwick Records, Warwick number 500, and it was actually an up-tempo tune called I Remember. But let's give a spin to the intended A-side of the 45. It was their first of three they recorded on the Warwick record label for the Harp Tones, and Willie Winfield, he's on lead, and it's a nice rendition of this 1946 standard. Let's go back to March of 1959. These are the Harp Tones on Warwick Records. It's called Laughing on the Outside.
The crowd sees me out dancing, carefree and romancing, happy with my someone new. I'm laughing on the outside, crying on the inside, 'cause I'm still in love with you. They see me night and daytime, having such a gay time. They don't know what I go through. I'm laughing on the outside, crying on the inside, 'cause I'm still in love with you.
No one knows.
It's just
a pose.
pretending I'm glad we're apart. And when I
cry,
my eyes
are dry.
the tears are in my heart. Oh, darling, can we make up? Ever since our breakup, make believe is all I do. I'm laughing on the outside, crying on the inside, 'cause I'm still in love with you. Laughing on the outside, crying on the inside, for you.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Harp Tones. Willie Winfield and the Harp Tones kicked off the Warwick record label. Warwick number 500 there, March 1959, Laughing on the Outside. Johnny G's laughing on the outside, that is for sure. As although I'm crying with the cable issue that I had, I'm telling you, at least it's so nice to have a nice stream, no buffering, no nothing. So I hope everybody is enjoying the video view, and also those of you tuned in on Oldies and More Radio. Let's continue now. And one more record out of 1959 as we go back out to California. This is on the Melotone record label. It's actually out of Gardena, California. The group is called the Markeets, Markeets. And the interesting thing on this, that the writer of this tune is Freddie Hughes. And that is the same Freddie Hughes that later on he sang with a group called The Symbols on the Amazon later. And also the same Freddie Hughes that went on to have a successful solo career with lots of cool soul 45s in the mid-1960s, like on VJ Records and Fame and other labels also. He was a member of this group. I don't know if he's doing lead, but he definitely was a member, and he wrote this song from July 1959. Give a listen to the Markeets. The Markeets on the Melotone label. It's called Teardrops.
Teardrop are falling from my eyes, are falling very hard. Though I love her so much, that's why I cry.
That is the Mark Keats there from July 1959. That's on the Melotone record label out of Gardena, California, song entitled Teardrops. Freddie Hughes, a member of that group. Got to tell you a story about this not this record. In the early days of eBay, I got some nice records on a Buy It Now, and I think the other record on this Melotone, is it the Challengers, I think? Is it Walt Rio and the Challengers on this label? Well, anyway, there was a Buy It Now for $250 on this, and I'm talking about a long time ago. So I clicked it, Buy It Now. It was around Christmas time, and I paid the guy $250. I said, send it insured. Send it insured. So the record comes Christmas Eve, late Christmas Eve. I got this box sitting in the front of my door where I live. So I open the record, and it's in, one of those, it's in the normal Bags Unlimited box for one single. And I open it up, and the record, I knew when I looked at when you get a box with one record in it and you see a crease in the box going the same way with the grains of the cardboard, that's not good. I said, this record better not be cracked. So I opened it up, I took it and there it is, cracked right down the middle. I said, what the hell? So I said, I knew the guy didn't mail it that way, but it looked like the postman somebody sat on the record, because it had to, they sat on it like in their seat, and it went this way and it cracked it. The guy had 2 pieces of cardboard in there. Sometimes you got to put more than just 2 pieces of flimsy cardboard. So I contacted him. I said, look, I said, you better give me the information to file the claim. It's $250. Oh, John, I lost the ticket. I says, what do you mean you lost the ticket? So I end up going to my post office, and I said, look, here's the box it came into. You can see on here, insured. This record cost me $250. Here is the thing, $5 postage. You guys cracked it. Oh, well, how do you know we cracked it? I says, because you cracked it. Okay. They said, well, I'm sorry, we can't file this claim unless we have the insurance card. I said, what are you talking about? It says insured on here where it came from. It came from California. I said, you guys broke it. I didn't break it. So they refused. They refused to pay me. The guy lost it. See, nowadays, I could have gone to my PayPal account and I could have said, it's not my responsibility to be out the $250, although it's not his either. But he shouldn't have lost that the attachment that had all the insurance information on it. So I had to write a letter. They gave me $50, so I lost $200 on that Challengers record. By the way, that was not good. And another time, when I was buying records from John Tefteller, he used to mail his records. He used to have a big ad in Discovery's magazine. So I'd bid on records and I'd win, a small stack. Now John mails. He's very good with his mailing now, at least from the last times I've purchased from him. What he used to do was, he used to take 4 pieces of like that gray cardboard, like that flimsy gray cardboard, and it was bigger than 7-inch squares. So what did he do? He put the records in between these big squares of cardboard, and he would put tape around all sides. So he pinched the ends of it, made it really tight, so when they come in the mail and boxes sit on top of it, and some of the California records, they could be slightly dished. So he made them so tight where they cracked around the label. I said, John, you're not mailing these things correctly. You're not putting any cardboard between them. Anybody can stick their finger through the tape if they wanted to. He changed that. I don't know when he changed it. But I'd get these records with cracks. He'd go go to the post office, fill out a claim. They gave me crap at the post office. I don't see it cracked. I said it's cracked around the label. You want me to break the damn record? I'm not. It's cracked around the label. They gave me such a hard time. So I haven't stopped dealing with John, although I haven't bought a record lately from him in a while. But I said, that's it. I'm not dealing with anybody that doesn't know how to mail their records. And believe it or not, there's a ton of people on eBay that don't know how to mail their records, how to mail them at all. One time I got this rare deluxe record. It was in a manila envelope. And I got the record, and I'm like, the bottom of it was like, had this bulge. I'm going, what the hell? So I was ready to write a book. But anyway, not to get off the tangent, I just had to say it. Not that I'm ranting and raving today. But anyway, there you go. That's my rant and rave. Let's continue here as I go back to the records here. We are in 1960 now. We go back to Connecticut for this lead singer here. He's out of Hartford, Connecticut, and this is a request for listener Joe Shacatano. It's on Mickey Maroney and Frank Zenobi's MZ record label. MZ Records is out of Middletown, Connecticut, and the lead singer here is Larry Lee and the Bel Airs. Now, Larry Lee's real name is Larry Harper, and this group, the Bel Airs, the Four Bel Airs, the same group that recorded on Ben Smith's Extra Records. So this is for Joe Shacatano, May 1960, Larry Lee and the Four Bel Airs on MZ Records. It's called Can I Be in Love?
Please, someone tell me, I want to know.
May 1960 there for Larry Lee and the Four Bel Airs by request for Joe Shacatano. That's on the MZ label. Can I Be in Love is the name of the tune. MZ Records out of Middletown, Connecticut. I would travel to Middletown, Connecticut to be a guest host on the Moondog Matinee Show with Al Bernard, my friend Al Bernard from, I haven't seen Al in a long, long time, but he would ask me to guest host up there. And Wesleyan College was the college there. And the show is still on today with Moondog Mike and a couple other guys. But the 1999 is the first time I did a collector appearance on that show. I told Al I would go up and see him again. I have to go visit Al. I want to look through his records again. As we continue here on Vinyltreasures, you all know this next duet. They had a big, big hit back in 1957. If you're familiar with the tune Love is Strange, came out on the RCA subsidiary Groove record label, but they eventually moved over to the parent company, RCA Records, with 4 releases. This is their third and is a request for Cheryl Morgan, and this is a cover tune. This was first done on Aladdin Records back in 1955 by Gene and Eunice. Gene and Eunice. I always say Eunice. Gene and Eunice. They did it first, but here are Mickey Baker and Sylvia Vanderpool, better known as Mickey and Sylvia. This charted number 100 on the Billboard bubbling under, actually Billboard 100. That is the lowest point you can get on the regular chart. This one from November 1960. This is for Cheryl Morgan, Mickey and Sylvia on RCA, and their rendition of the tune, This Is My Story.
Doo-ba, 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 doo. This is my story. I have no song, just a lonely, broken hearted. Just because I fell in love with you, I pray that you come back to me, just to hear you say you love me, and we'll never, never part from you. Doo-ba, 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 doo. I pray that you come back to me, just to hear you say you love me, and we'll never, never part. No, we'll never, never part.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyltreasure Show. That's going out by request for Cheryl Morgan, November 1960. That's Mickey and Sylvia's version of This Is My Story. Came out on the RCA record label. Let's move into 1961 now with a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy. This group is out of the Bronx, New York. Now, this is their only release. Now, the true first press of this came out on the Pat Rico record label, and then it was leased out to Brunswick Records. That's how I have it. I had a chance to buy the Pat Rico 45, but the guy wanted too much money for it. I said, you're charging me double for that, and it's styrene. Forget it. So I ended up picking it up on Brunswick Records, and it's a cover of a tune first recorded by the Legends on the Hull record label in 1957. This is from June of 61. It features Giulio Jody DiCecchio on lead. This one from June 61, going out to Tom Shaughnessy, the Tremonts here. The Tremonts on the Brunswick label with their rendition of the tune Legend of Love.
With two
rare cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That originally done by the Legends on the Hull label in 57. Move up to June 61 for the Tremonts. Did I say the Tremonts? I might not have. That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy. A Brunswick release on there. Pat Rico is the first label. That's the second Brunswick. Legend of Love is the name of the tune. And let's go for this next group. They're originally from Steubenville, Ohio, and this is a request for listener Ryan Heisey, first recorded as the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes on the deluxe label, but this is the B-side to their second of 3 releases on the Cub record label. Maybe not the B-side. This might have been the A-side. But this tune written by Don Covey and Otis Blackwell. The lead singer on this is Bruce Robinson. Bruce Robinson's on lead. This charted number 10. This was a number 10 record on WYRE out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And going out to Ryan Heisey, November 61. These are the stereos on Cub. It's called The Big Knock for Ryan.
There's a lonely aching heart that waits inside. There's a lonely pair of eyes that cries and cries. I'm longing to hear your footsteps walking down the floor, and I'm waiting for the big knock. Yes, I'm waiting for the big knock. There's a lonely pair of lips remembers yet the way we used to always kiss each chance we'd get. You said you'd return, my darling. It's me that you adore. Well, I'm waiting for the big knock. Yes, I'm waiting for the big knock. Girl, I'm waiting for the big knock on my door. Each night I pray, each day will draw you near, and to know that you'll be mine, all mine. Won't let my heart feel what I feel, that you will leave me standing in the heartbreak line. Now you don't know how I cry and what I go through. I know I'll never fall out of love with you. I'm dying to hear you tell me you're home forevermore. Well, I'm waiting for the big knock. Girl, I'm waiting for the big knock. I said I'm waiting for the big knock on my
That's the second of 3 for the stereos. Going out to Ryan Heisey there, November 1961. That's Bruce Robinson on lead on the Cub record label. The Big Knock is the name of the tune. Let's stay in 1961 with a request for George Tompkins as we go to Paul Winley's Winley record label. This group from Harlem, New York, had 6 releases on the Winley label. This is their 6th and final release for the Jesters. Now, this is not Adam Jackson on lead with the Jesters. This lead is Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith on lead here. This is going out to George Tompkins, 1961. The Jesters on Winley. It's called Come Let Me Show You.
It's hard to explain how to love
That's a side that normally does not get played by the Jesters there. A nice side there with Jimmy Smith on lead by request for George Tompkins, 1961. It's on the Winley label. Come Let Me Show You is the name of the tune. Let's stay in 1961 with this next group called the Gems, not the same group that we heard earlier in the show on that ultra rare 45 from 1954. This is 1961. This is an old request for Emnon. Now, this group's first release came out on the Record label in late 1958. This was their next, which came out in 61. Some of the books say 1958. This is not. This release is I think it was right after the Del Satins 1961 release on Win Records. This tune written by John Wagner, who I think is the lead singer on this. This is going out to Emnon. These are the Gems on the Win label. It's called The Night Is Over for Emnon. Those are the Gems by request for Emnon, and Daryl mentions in the YouTube chat that that's 1958 in Marvin Podd's book. It's not. It's 1961 on that release. Look at just go back and check the other releases. People don't do that. People don't research the other releases on it. That's what the problem is. And the number sequence, they think it's the other Gem label. It is not. Anyway, that's the Gems there from on the Win label. The Night Is Over is the name of the tune. As we continue here, and we are in 1961, got another cover tune up next by this California listener. This is on the R-Teen label out of Hollywood, California, and R-Teen stands for The Magic Sound, yes. And this tune, first recorded by a group called the Vitones. The Vitones also issued on this R-Teen record label. Then it came out on the Trope label as done by the Viscanes, which I have. And of course, there is some controversy on two presses on that Viscane pressing. We have had conversations of that, me and George, and who's the other guy, George? I can't remember. Anyway, but the song is written by singer Gary Stites, and it's produced by George Mottola, who also produced the Viscanes releases. Now, this singer here, his name is Dal LaRock. It's his first of two. This is a special send-out to my admin assistant, and that is Charlene Whiteside of Huntsville, Texas. This charted number 49 on KYA and San Francisco, California. Late 1961 release for Dal LaRock on the Artine record label. This is going out to Charlene. It's called Stop What You're Doing.
Stop what you're doing. Do you know what you're doing? You'd better stop, or I might cry over you. Won't you think it over one more time? Don't say it's over. Give it some thought, and you will find, yes, you will find, you've been wrong to think I was untrue, and that I deliberately tried to hurt you. But you don't believe me. You say that we're through. Oh darling, what will I do? Tears in my eyes. Won't you stop making me cry? Rekindle the spark. Don't let our love lie. Our love lie. There in the dark. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyltreasure Show. That's going out. Special request for Charlene Whiteside in the YouTube chat room there. That's Dal LaRock, late 1961 on the Artine record label, doing the Viscanes, a.k.a. the Vitones, Stop What You're Doing. Actually, Charlene has a copy of that 45. Charlene is also a record collector, not like Johnny G, but she does have records that she likes. That is for sure. And we send that one out to Charlene. Let's continue here. Here's a request for listener Nat Pappagallo. We head out to the West Coast to Jim Lee's Monogram record label, best known for releases by Chris Montez. I'm sure many of you know the tune Let's Dance from 1961, but I think this is the first record on the label, by far the rarest record on the label, and it's the sound of East LA here on the Vinyltreasure Show. This group is known as the Citadels, by request for Nat Pappagallo, November 61, the Citadels on Monogram. It's called Let's Fall in Love for Nat.
Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Hey, girl, you with the pretty red hair, come over here to me, and let's fall in love. chance. Don't take me out of this trance. There you stand, bright as a star. Here I stand, so near yet so far. Come on closer, closer to me. Come on, let's fall in love, 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 love. Now that you're mine, life is so sublime. Our love will grow and grow till the end of time. We fell in love. 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 We fell in love.
That's a rare 45 by the Citadels. It's by request from Nat Pappagallo. I hope you don't have that in your jukebox, Nat. That's a rare record. The Citadels there, November 1961, Monogram Records, Let's Fall in Love. There's a nice version of this by that duo Larry and Mike. Larry and Mike do this song on the Piccadilly label from 63, which is a nice record too. I should play that here on the show. Let's continue here as we move into 1961. We are in Vinyltreasure Overtime now, and this is a request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. This group out of Harlem, New York, the Dubs, recorded for George Goldner's Gone record label, and they left Gone Records to record for ABC Paramount. Then they ended up back with George Goldner's Gone record label. This is their sixth release on Gone. This charted number 4 on KTKT in Tucson, Arizona, and features Richard Blandon on lead. We go back to September 62. These are the Dubs on the Gone label. This is going out to Matey. It's called You're Free to Go.
You're free to go. You're free to go. Here I've done the best I could. You're free to go. You're free to go. If you really feel you should, I love you so. I love you so much more than you'll ever know. You're free to go. Is this my way?
That's going out to Matey Camp Boy. Those are the Dubs, Richard Blandon and the Dubs. September 1962 release on the Gone record label. Their sixth release for Gone, You're Free to Go is the name of the tune. We continue here. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. This is an old request for two listeners, Evan Blatt and George Tompkins. Haven't heard from Evan. I know he wasn't feeling well. So, Evan, if you are tuned in, please email Johnny G to let me know that you're okay. Haven't heard from you in a while here. But this is going out to Evan Blatt and George Tompkins, the group out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And their Lone 45 came out on the AFO label. AFO stands for All for One. That's the label. The song co-written by group member Arthur Booker, who I think might be the lead singer here. So this is May 1962. Give a listen to The Blenders. The Blenders on AFO for George and Evan. It's called It Takes Time.
To whom it may concern,
to whom it may concern, I'm hoping that some young lady comes along and alleviates the pains in my heart, and she and I can possess a stationary, everlasting affair of romance that can be manifested by love and devotion only.
but it takes time. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes time to find a girl, but there's a girl out there for me who knows that I'm so lonely, but it takes time. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes time. A whole lot of time.
To whom it may concern, but please don't look upon me as a blot on human intelligence and that I shouldn't be allowed to matriculate, because I know that the solution to my problem demands an irregular approach. I'm a lonely boy without a girl, and deep in my heart I'm willing to wait, even though I know that it takes time.
May 62 release there for the Blenders. The Blenders on the AFO record label. That's going out to George and Evan. It Takes Time is the name of that tune. It takes time to prepare the Vinyl Treasure Show, that is for sure. You can ask Charlene Whiteside on that. We are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. We're almost done here on the last page here as we go back to Philadelphia, PA, to Buddy Colwell's Palm record label, as this singer has other releases on Buddy's V-Tone and Len labels, but this one is on his Palm subsidiary. He's being backed up by a group called The Cruisers. They also recorded for the V-Tone record label. And let's give a listen to Herb Johnson. We can call the lawyers on this one. You let me know what this record sounds like in the chat room. But this is from July 62. Herb Johnson and the uncredited Cruisers backing him up on the Palm label. The song is called Help.
Help, 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 will.
Call the Lawyers on that tune, as George had it right. And Zoop, it sounds like the charts Zoop there. That's Herb Johnson and the Uncredited Cruisers there. July 62 release on the Palm record label. Their tune is called Help. We could also say it sounds like Zoop, that is for sure. And we continue here. We stay in 1962 for this group from New Mexico. It's a request for Amnon. They have two releases on the Gum label, which is out of Mesilla. Is it Mesilla Park, New Mexico? This is their second. It was co-written by the lead singer. His name is Lloyd Nash. Lloyd Nash on lead. This is going out to Amnon, August 62, The Cavaliers on the Gum, G-U-M Records. It's called The Right Time.
They say that true
That's by request for Amnon. That is a cool tune. George, you never heard that record? That's a cool record there by the Cavaliers. Girl group in the background there. Lloyd Nash, he's the lead, August 62. That's going out to Amnon on the Gum record label. That's their second release on Gum, The Right Time. It is the right time for me to switch to a 78 needle. Earlier in the show, I played two records, that Money record by the Hollywood Flames and also the Earls on the Gem record label. Believe it or not, this record is a 1962 release, and it's a request for Matey Campboy. And this group formed in 1961 in Reading, Pennsylvania, following the breakup of a group known as the Honeybees that recorded for the B label. Vocalist Barry Boswell met Ray Edwards, bass of the Silhouettes, along with Bill and Jean Udis and Bobby Rohrback, and formed this group called the Invictors. They had this release on the B record label out of Reading, Pennsylvania. It features Gene Uhas on lead and does not sound well. This record does not sound well with a 45 needle, but it sounds so much better with a 78 needle. That's probably how they cut it. Now, this is from May of 1962. These are the Invictors going out to Matey Campboy. This is her request on the B label. It's called I'll Always Care for You. This is for Matey.
I'm in love with you. No one else will ever do. Oh, no, you don't care. tomorrow again. You know that it's not true, although you don't care for our love affair. I'll always care for you. My heart is yearning for a paradise. My life is spent with you. My heart is breaking. Whoa, can't I do? You're so lovely. Oh, how I love you. Please make my dreams come true. Although you don't care for our love affair, I'll always care for you.
As by request from Eddie Campoy, the Invictors there. May 1962. It's on the B record label, I'll Always Care About You. Gene Eunice, Yuhas, if I said it right. He's the lead singer on that. And I've had to play it with the 78 needle. It plays horrible with a 45 needle. At least it's better with the 78 needle there. Now, this group would later change their name to the Termites in 1964. They had one more release, another great tune on the B record label, but it is that group. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, as we move to 63 now for this next singer, and he was only 12 years old when he recorded this song for Cap Records. Now, the song was written by Al Cooper, Bob Bass, and Irwin Levine. Now, the group backing him up on this are none other than the Cadillacs, and the bass of this group is none other than Ronnie Bright. Ronnie Bright, the bass of the Valentines, that recorded for Rama record label. For you collectors here, the better sounding copy is definitely the vinyl promo, not the crappy styrene. This is on a vinyl promo. This is from June 63. Give a listen to Gregory Howard, 12 years old. Gregory Howard here on the Cap record label. It's called When in Love, parentheses, Do as Lovers Do.
Oh, baby. When in love, you gotta do like lovers do. Oh.
When in love, you gotta do as lovers do. Walk on it, don't let nothing bother you. Take your baby by the hand, walk with her through Wonderland. When in love, you gotta do
June 63 release there for Gregory Howard, being backed up by the Cadillacs. The Cadillacs on there, and Ronnie Bright, he was the bass. Of course, Ronnie Bright also on Cap Records. What is that? Mr. Bassman, Johnny Cymbal. He was the bass with Johnny Cymbal on Mr. Bassman, but there he was, the bass singing with the Cadillacs there. Gregory Howard on Cap. When in Love, parentheses, do as lovers do. We are in 1963. We go back out to Los Angeles, California, to Lummy Fowler's Lumtone record label. This is a request for Nick Nicola. I don't know, Nick wasn't in chat tonight. Didn't hear from Nick today, but he's going to tune in to the archive here. But this group out of Los Angeles, California, Lummy Fowler's Lumtone record label from August 63. Give a listen to the Five Ramblers. Five Ramblers on Lumtone. It's called I Want You to Know. This is for Nick.
If I were dying and I had 3 words to say, I would say I love you, my darling, as I pass away. Come on home, I love you where you belong. Because I want you to know, oh yes, I love you so. We love each other. We had our ups and downs.
Then one sad day, just one little argument and one cruel word, and darling, you up and walked away.
Whoa, come on home. Forgive me where you belong. Want you to know, yes, I want you to know.
I want you to know, darling. I want you to know. I want you to know that I love you. Please come on home, baby. I want to let you know I love you. I'm down on bending knees. Come on, baby. Please, come on home, baby. I love you so much, darling.
Out of Los Angeles, California, going out to Nick Nicola. Those are the Five Ramblers. August 63 release on the Lumtone record label. Lots of cool records on that California Lumtone label. I Want You to Know is the name of the tune here. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes. We are winding down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records to go here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Maybe less than that. We'll see. We'll put a couple aside. But anyway, this next 45 is on Vince Rago's Ritchie record label out of Wilmington, Delaware. Now, the group is called Johnny and the Dreams, and the lead to me sounds like the the same lead of the Sinceres that recorded on the Ritchie label. You know the Sinceres that do Please Don't Cheat on Me and If You Should Leave Me? I think it's the same lead. And this song did receive airplay on WAMS out of Wilmington, Delaware. I'm featuring my copy, which is on red vinyl. This also comes on the standard black label, which I also own, but this is from March 1964. It's Johnny and the Dreams on the Ritchie record label, Vince Rago's Ritchie Records. It's called You're Too Young for Me.
You're too young, you're too young, you're too young for me. You're too young, you're too young, you're too young for me.
You're too young, can't you see? But I still love you, darling G. There's only one thing wrong, that is you are too young. If you had moved me, where would I be? I couldn't go on living, I'd cease to be. There's only one thing wrong, that is you are too young.
You're too young for me.
I keep telling you this because I love you. I keep telling you this, darling, because I need you. I know our love is wrong because you are too young. And now it's over, and we are through. But you remember, darling, it was always you. There was only one thing wrong, that was you were too young.
That's out of Wilmington, Delaware, Vince Rago's Ritchie record label, March 1964. Johnny and the Dreams, You're Too Young for Me. 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here. We go back to Philadelphia, PA for this next group. You know their biggest hit, a song called When We Get Married, came out on Jerry Ross's Heritage record label. They recorded for a bunch of different labels. This is their second of 2 on the Mercury label, co-written by the lead singer Donald Hogan. This is also produced by Jerry Ross, and a request for listener Joe Shacatano. Now, I hate styrene like this styrene because the flip side even plays worse, but I apologize if there's a little bit of a muddiness on this record, but thought I had a nice copy of this, but it looks nice, but does not play so great. But anyway, we're going to send it out by request for Joe Shacatano, October 1966. These are the Dream Lovers on the Mercury label, and their tune called Calling Joanne. This is for Joe.
Long have I waited and shivered in the wind. Long have I watched for ships that don't come in.
Standing by the river, and I'm calling Joanne, darling. When are you coming home?
I waited, my darling. my darling Joanne, 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 come on back, pretty baby.
That's going out to Joe Shacatano, the Dream Lovers there. Donald Hogan and the Dream Lovers, October 1966. October 66 release on the Mercury record label, song entitled Calling Joanne. Here is another request. We stay in 1966 with a request for Nick Nicola for this record out of Chicago, Illinois. And sounds like it could be from 64 or 65. Not really sure about the release date. I'm guessing 1966. But Nick requested the Stimulators. The Stimulators on the Sounderific label. It's from 66, I'm guessing. And it's about the summer nights that we'll long for. It's called Warm Summer Nights. These are the Stimulators going out to Nick Nicola.
Summer's gone and all the leaves have fallen from the tree. I did her wrong and now my love has gone away from me. My little bird has made her fly, all because I didn't treat her right. Now that she's gone, all I'm longing for are those warm summer nights. Warm summer nights with me and I love, under the light of the moon above. Now that you're gone, all I am thinking of summer night. My little bird has made her fly, all because I didn't treat her right. Now that she's gone, all I'm longing for are those warm summer nights. I'm so ashamed that I treated my love so bad. It serves me right that I'm sitting here feeling sad. Now I'm out in the cold without her love to have a hold. Now that she's gone, all I'm longing for are those warm summer nights. Warm summer nights with me and I love, I love,
As by request for Nick Nicola there, those are the Stimulators. That could even be from 1970 possibly. But it said 66 on one of the sites. The Stimulators there, Sounderific Records, Warm Summer Nights. That's going out by request for Nick Nicola. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to all these cool 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, you can send me an email. The address is vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you have any requests for the show, comments on the show, if you dig some of the tunes that are new, new or whatever. All disc jockeys love to correspond with the listeners. That is a fact, as I do. So send your emails to vinyltreasures@aol.com. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. It'll be up on YouTube, hopefully momentarily after I sign off. If you missed any of the show, you can go back and watch the archive, or you can download it or stream it on vinyltreasures.net. That is my website. So check that out, and I'll be back here next Saturday night at 10 o'clock for more of your requests and more cool 50s and early 60s 45. I'll be on Monday evening. If you like the sound of the 60s, Leaning Soul, I'll be on Monday night from 10 to 11 on Oldies and More Radio, also right here on YouTube, and you can check out the cool tunes there. I already got stuff pulled already with that test show last night. Excuse me. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Our closer is a request out of Los Angeles, California, for my number one California listener out of California, and that would be Matey Campboy. Now, the interesting thing about this record is that members of this group started out in others' 50s and early 60s groups. Some of the members were in the 16's back in 1956 recording for Flips. Some of them are from the Elements in 1960 recorded on the Titan label. Others were from the Elgins that also recorded on Flip and Titan. And another group called the Daniels in 1963 recorded for Latham Records. But those members changed the name. They all got together and they called themselves the Bagdads in 1968. And this was a big Gus Gossett song. That's the first time I heard this record, when Gus Gossett played it. But this charted back in 1968. It was number 6 on KFXM in San Bernardino, California. The lead singer on this is Barry Little. Barry Little is the lead singer, and this is the second of 4 on the Double Shot record label for the Bagdads. It's a lot of stuff there. And our closer tonight is for Matey Campboy from October 68. The Bagdads on Double Shot. It's called Bring Back Those Doo-Wops. It's for Matey. That's what Johnny G does every Saturday right here from 10 to 1:51. It's late. Thank you all for sticking around. Hope to see you next Saturday night. If not, I'll see you Monday night. Everybody have a safe and happy week. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. Just want to say, everybody, so long. The Bagdads for Matey.
Bring back those doo-wops. Those old songs for me. Bring them back, bring them back, bring them back. People, cause they bring back such sweet memories. We're gonna sing a few of those old doo-wops. That's what they used to call them. And if they bring chill to your soul, we want all of you people to demand that they bring back that soul rock and roll. We all remember this one. Over the mountain, yes, and across the sea. That song did so much for you and me. One summer night, that was the summer. Yes, that was the summer we all fell in love over. Cherry pie. And that song brought tears to all of our eyes. You cheated, you lied, but it was no lie. We all dug that old soul sound in the still of the night. Yeah, we all remember that one, baby. Bring back, bring back, bring back, bring back those. I want to hear this is dedicated to the one I love. Don't forget Blue Bell. And what about a Sunday night of love? Good night, sweetheart. Well, when it was time to go, we all wanted to hear Good Night, My Love. Earth angel, earth angel, oh, bring back, bring back, bring
Okay, folks, that does it. I haven't heard that record in a long, long time. That request from Matey Campboy. It's on the Double Shot record. It's from 68. It's interesting. What year? October 68. Yeah, there it is. The Bagdads, Bring Back Those Doo-Wops. What I paid 25 cents for this record. It's a nice vinyl press. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. It is a bitter 13 degrees here at 1:55 a.m. in the morning. Going to go have some of my father's birthday cake now, as I'm gonna relax for a couple hours, and I will go to. I got to do shopping tomorrow. Anyway, and then the Super Bowl next. I had a discussion with my brother. He says, Johnny, I don't know if the Bengals are going to beat the Rams, but I think it's going to be a close game. So the 4.5 points. Not that I'm a gambling guy, at least not anymore. But I think the Bengals are going to win that game. That's my opinion. He says, well, the offensive line isn't as good, and the Rams got some good ends there. He's got to be careful, but I think he's the better quarterback than Stafford, and he beat all these teams. I think he's beaten better teams than the Rams. It's in their home field, so they have a big advantage. But you know what? Bengals like to be the underdog here. I think that kid Burrow, he is a special quarterback, and he was hurt last year. So I think I'm gonna be in my glory next Sunday night. So you're gonna see, those of you seeing me Monday night, I'm either gonna be depressed or I'm going to be excited. Maybe I'll play records from Cincinnati. I don't know many from the 60s, but I might do groups and labels out of Cincinnati. That's a good theme thing for that. Because it's 31 years of misery being a Bengal fan. Are you kidding me? Anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Be safe, be happy. I'll see you next Saturday. If not, I'll see some of you Monday night. Tell your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Very important, and click the like button. Thank you all. Stay well. Everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.